Kenny Coyle is the founder of Praxis Press, publisher of books on Marxism and socialist history. He's based in the Philippines and has also lived in Hong Kong and Macau for nearly 20 years. He's the author of China's New Era and What It Means, and is a regular contributor to the Morning Star newspaper. He was also formerly the International Secretary of the Communist Party of Britain. So, Kenny, please go ahead.
Thank you very much indeed for the chance to allow me to pay my own personal tribute to Chris. I met Chris a few years ago. I say a few years ago because in my memory, it seemed as if it was only 4 or 5 years ago. But as I was going through my notes and going through some contributions that Chris had made, I realized it was actually back in 2010. So it was 13 years ago when I had the great privilege of meeting Chris and talking to him in London at an event he was speaking at. It was organised by the Communist Party. We called it the Communist University of Britain, and it was a session that he and some other comrades had made presentations to, and I actually found the video of it, which I'll share later. I'm not sure if comrades or family are aware of this particular presentation, but I'm very happy to share it later. And he spoke brilliantly, as I think he always did, on the relationship between internationalism and anti-imperialism, and specifically the relationship of British imperialism and the African continent, not just South Africa, but more broadly. One of the things that really struck me about Chris's presentation, as it has always struck me about comrades from South Africa, is the ability to bring a very controlled passion about the struggle, the liberation struggle. Given the hatred, the animosity that was directed against the Black majority in South Africa, it always struck me as quite incredible to listen to Black South African communists and liberation movement activists, and to hear a very, I don't want to use the word dispassionate, because it wasn't dispassionate. It was deeply passionate, but it was also deeply intellectual, deeply committed, deeply analytical. And watching Chris's many contributions on YouTube and different things which have been organised by the International Manifesto group and other forces, you see this come through time and time again, this very important combination of revolutionary activism and revolutionary conscience and revolutionary consciousness. And that's really quite remarkable. So Chris's contribution on that day, as I said, was primarily about connecting the struggles within South Africa, within the African continent, and the global struggles against imperialism. And afterwards, I had the great opportunity to have a chat with Chris. At that time, I was living, in 2010, I was still living in Hong Kong. So I was chatting to him quite extensively about China. And this was, as I said, 13 years ago. So Vijay's remarks are absolutely on point here. He was very engaged in the struggle for understanding how China's role in Africa was being misrepresented, and how the liberation movements in the broadest sense could make use of China's engagement with the African continent, both in terms of trade and also more broadly speaking in terms of its China's role in limiting the possibilities of US and Western imperialism continuing to have a grip on the African continent. So that's my memory really of Chris. It was a wonderful opportunity to hear, as I said, a great revolutionary brain at work, someone who had been through such an important struggle in his own country, in his own youth and student times, and to hear him still have that tremendous commitment to the struggle for socialism and for anti-imperialism and internationalism. And I'm very, very happy to have the chance to make my own personal tribute to him today. And I will share the link with Chris later. So thank you very much.
I'm Michael Hudson. I'm appearing here for the International Manifesto group. If you like this video and ones like it, please subscribe. For more information, go to the address on the screen.